Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Adriana DC. So today's video, I'm gonna be giving you all the sexy, sultry, seductive Tonka bean scents in my collection. Now, Tonka bean is actually the seed of an Amazonian tree. It's also referred to as a fruit from tropical trees within Central and South America. But overall, tonka bean has a very warm, sweet, rich, almondy, vanilla-like, balsamic essence to it. It's really sweet, really sexy, and it's widely used in perfumery, as you guys would already know. And I would say, um, tonka bean is very, very distinctive in fragrances, in my opinion. Of course, in some fragrances, it is much more distinctive than some. I would say the fragrances within my collection that having that really, sultry, seductive note of tonka bean, I find it to be quite distinctive. Obviously, because I'm quite familiar with tonka bean, So tonight, I'm going to be giving you all the fragrances in my collection that have a very prominent note of tonka bean and a very crowd pleasing scent at that. So if you guys are interested in seeing all my tonka bean scents, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I think I definitely have more than 10 here. If you guys are interested in seeing all my tonka bean scents, then by all means keep on watching. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. And for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys for supporting me. So the first very dominant, very well-known, popular tonka bean dominant scent in my collection is none other than La Belle Lopez. And you guys probably already knew this baby was going to be coming out because this is your iconic spicy, warm, sweet pear, vanilla, and tonka bean scent. It is sexy, it is powdery, velvety, sweet, and very prominent and heavy on the tonka bean. So what you will smell in this fragrance is a very strong scent, vanilla scent. But why do I consider this tonka bean in here so to be very distinctive? This is a very deep, warm, seductive scent. It's a very sexy vanilla scent, and it's because the tonka bean here is so prominent and so distinctive that it gives off somewhat of an extra sweetness to it. But because the scent is very finely blended, it is smooth, and like I said to you, it has somewhat of a velvet texture. The tonka bean here is very pleasant. I would say, obviously, this scent is for the fall and winter, you guys. Because of that, the amped up, vanilla essence in here. So from the vanilla, and of course, tonka bean smells like vanilla. With this perfume, you get endless sweetness from the vanilla and tonka, and the spicy sweet pear is pretty much overshadowed a little bit from the tonka bean, in my opinion, which makes this fragrance even more sexy and beautiful. And there are not many pear and tonka bean combinations out there, so this fragrance definitely stands out in my collection and in the fragrance industry. So this is my first tonka bean scent that I think is an absolutely beautiful smelling fragrance. Another absolutely sexy, seductive scent, the most seductive of them all, tonka bean scent in my collection is Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. Now this perfume it just has endless sexiness. It opens with a very dominant note of honey, of course, with some citrusy elements. There's also some cherries, tuberoses, and some orange blossom. And in the base, this perfume has some tonka bean, vanilla, and sandalwood. What does this perfume smell like? This is a syrupy, sweet, honeyed, cherry, vanilla-y, sweet, tonka bean, sexy bottle of fragrance. Of course, the cherries in here also play a very, strong role as well. But this perfume plays on all of the most, I would say, sexy and very seductive notes. Of course, it opens up with extra sweet honey, and then you have the syrupy sweet cherries, and the base you have your vanilla, your sandalwood, and tonka bean. It is warm, it is sweet, it is smooth, it's just it's powdery as well. it is an absolutely beautiful smelling fragrance. This fragrance right here, this is something that I always like to say. I would sit here and say to you, your best fragrance, your best niche, your most expensive scent in your collection can't touch this. And that's how I feel. Like, Scandal by Night is a bottle of sexiness. That cherry note mixing with the vanilla and of course the tonka bean sandalwood. It just like accentuates the warm and sweet mellowness of this perfume. It kind of like it adds more vibe to the cherries and the honey in this scent. So for me, Scandal by Night, oh, this is an absolutely beautiful fragrance. There's a lot of features in this perfume that makes this fragrance very, 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 very beautiful, you guys. Next up, we have Carolina Herrera Good Girl, you guys. Now, Carolina Herrera, it has in top notes of almond, coffee, and bergamot. In the heart, we have some jasmine, tuberose, and orange blossom. And of course, in the base, we have your tonka bean, cacao, vanilla, praline, sandalwood, amber, cashmere, cinnamon, patchouli, and all things sugar and spice. This perfume smells like it smells a little bit fresh, citrusy, airy, sweet, warm, vanilla, tonka bean, tuberose, and jasmine scent. Now there is a nice blend in the heart of this perfume, but the vanilla, the tonka bean, and the jasmine, in my opinion, is what brings the sexiness to the heart of this fragrance, okay? It's very prominent. There's a very prominent sweetness to this perfume. You get the almondy touches because it is smooth, a little bit milky. But of course, you have the tuberose. The tuberose in here so comes off a little bit like creamy, mixing with the florals. So it's a nice, warm, soft, beautiful, florally essence in the heart, mixed with, of course, the tonka bean and the vanilla and the praline. There's quite a lot of notes in this perfume, but again, what's starring here is the tonka bean, the vanilla, and the tonka bean, the vanilla, and the tuberose, and of course that almondy-like texture in this perfume. Beautiful, sweet, sexy smelling fragrance. For me, it smells very fresh and airy. This is a scent where tonka bean does not make this perfume too like sweet or too cloying, in my opinion. No, my opinion is very much opposite to everybody else's experience with this scent. Everybody thinks this perfume is too much. This for me is light and airy, and as opposed to La Belle, which you guys would most likely wear in the fall and the winter, in my opinion, you can wear this fragrance all year round. It is airy and florally and sweet enough to wear all year round, in my opinion. I think this is such a beautiful scent. It just smells like a well-kept, sexy woman that's not very friendly. And when you look at her, she don't really smile back at you, even though you're looking at her and admiring her. That's the essence. That's the vibe I get from, from Carolina Herrera. And I love this perfume. I wish it was much more punchy because, gosh, I would like for this perfume to wear me like everybody else says about, Carolina Herrera. So this is Carolina Herrera, the original Good Girl. Next up, of course, we have the Carolina Herrera the Leger. And this is a lighter, much more citrusy, florally version of Good Girl. You do get that very sweet, warm vanilla and tonka bean essence in the heart as well, mixing with those florals. It has the same texture, the same presence of the vanilla, the tonka bean, the tuberose. It's there, but it's airier and lighter and a little bit more fresher. It is still sweet, but it's not it's not anchored as much as the original Good Girl. It smells very airy, very light, like a really beautiful fusion of some really sweet, florally powdery notes, which of course includes that tonka bean, the vanilla, the tuberose, the citrusy elements. Beautiful smelling fragrance. So this one here, so people more recommend this one to be worn in spring and summer. I would say because they kind of like, it's not as like strong. I would say definitely spring. I would say this is a beautiful spring fragrance, and I would wear this during the summer as well. I think it's a beautiful scent to wear during the summer. It's not a punchy one. I would like to reserve this to wear in the nighttime, but it's not that piercing, not that sweet for me, and not that strong. Still very light, even though it has that sexy, you know, good girl DNA. So I think this is a nice everyday, you know, well kept, smelling good woman type of scent. So this is Caroline Herrera, Good Call Leger. Next up, we have YSL Lieb Intense. Now, if you guys have experienced original, you know it's a very citrusy, you know, musky, lavender, vanilla, sweet scent, okay? And then they brought out the Intense, and it gave you an extra bit of sexiness, an extra bit of sultry, seductive vibes to it. They made it thicker, warmer, syrupy, and sweeter. So this one has an extra dose of Madagascar vanilla and tonka bean, and of course ambergris, to the original DNA of the YSL Lieb. And for me, this perfume just smells so damn good. Like, this is one of those times where a brand brings out a flanker, and the flanker is just as exquisite as the original. This YSL Intense is extremely beautiful, extremely sexy, extremely warm, sultry, seductive, date night. You know, this perfume is a vibe. Now, of course, the original is a vibe, but this one just brings a little bit a little bit more vibe to it, in my opinion, with that extra dose of, you know, amping up everything in this perfume. It looks, of course, the ambergris is playing a role in here so as well, which makes this fragrance deeper and a little bit more syrupy and sweeter and sexy. But of course, that extra dose of tonka bean and vanilla amped up in this scent takes this perfume, in my opinion, to a whole nother level. And this is a fragrance that I think in any everybody collection, it's something so easy to grab. When I say easy to grab, not like an everyday scent, but that it's that one scent that you just can't go wrong with. It's an absolutely beautiful, stunning, sexy, seductive tonka bean, lavender, mandarin orange blossom scent. Beautiful fragrance, in my opinion. So that is YSL Lieb Intense. Next up, we have Girl of Now, Elie Saab. Now, something so sexy about this perfume right here. This perfume has in top notes of pistachio, pear, and mandarin. In the heart, we have some almond, orange blossom, and magnolia. And in the base, you have some almond milk, tonka bean, cashmere, and patchouli. What does it smell like? It opens up with a very sweet, prominent note of pistachio mixing with some fruity elements. You definitely get the fruity touches in here because it is sweet and it comes out a little bit fruity, but it still focuses on the pistachio. And then it goes into the nutty, creamy, sweet touches in the heart. The almond note is very prominent, mixing with the magnolia. And despite this perfume having those almond notes that makes this fragrance a little bit creamy, because of the orange blossom, it maintains a bit of transparency in this fragrance that makes this perfume even more beautiful. And then, of course, it goes into the base where you get your almond milk and your tonka bean. And let me tell y'all, this smells like a sexy, sweet pistachio ice cream. This smells like a creamy, sweet pistachio, vanilla, almond, tonka bean scent. So, so nice. I want to say I don't come across a lot of pistachio fragrances, which to me makes this perfume unique. But I don't think if there's any other pistachio scent that could come near to this, because this pistachio smells so good. This smells so good. This is a beautiful fragrance. You know, I mean, it's not a very simple perfume, but it's a perfume that people aren't talking about that much right now. But I think it's a fragrance that deserves, you know, all the praise. You know, it's a beautiful scent. It's not boring. It just smells so good. It's like that number one girl, you know, like Girl of Now is that number one girl for real. The pistachio mixing with the creaminess and here so and the vanilla and tonka bean is so nice. It literally smells like a pistachio ice cream. And honestly, I think that was the inspiration for this fragrance, because that's just how I feel, you guys. So Elie Saab Girl of Now, beautiful pistachio, vanilla, and tonka bean scent. Next up, we have Vanilla 28 by Kylie And I think we are all no strangers to this sexy, brown, sugary, smoky, sweet, dark, vanilla, and tonka bean smelling perfume. This fragrance smells so good. It smells like vanilla essence. With that extra prominent note, I think there's some vanilla orchid in here, some brown sugar, tonka bean, amber, and amberwood in here. It is sweet, it is warm, it is sexy, it is sultry. It is also quite eerie and a very versatile vanilla fragrance in my opinion. It's not very cloying at all. It doesn't come across cloying. It's a fragrance that I consider to be an easy reach. It's an easy and absolutely beautiful go-to vanilla scent, in my opinion. One of my most exciting vanilla scent. Actually, I think it's my most exciting vanilla scent in my collection, in my opinion. There's something just so extra sexy and sweet about this particular fragrance. So this is Vanilla 28 by Kylie. Next up, we have La Nuit Trisol Aloe Folie. Now, without even knowing what's in this fragrance, this is an addictive, sexy, sweet vanilla scent, okay? This perfume has in some red currants, pink peppers, pea, and bergamot in the opening. In the middle, there is some damask rose, violet, peonies, and jasmine. In the base, bourbon vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, nutmeg, ambroxan, patchouli, and woody notes. Hello? Without giving you an introduction to this scent, this is endless sexiness, bales of sexiness. You get a sweet, warm, vanilla-y, red currant, rose, violet, and peony scent. That's what's starring in this perfume. I definitely get the rose, of course. There's a slight violet essence because this perfume, it's like there are some notes in here so that they're not shining, but the effect of them being in the scent is smelled, in my opinion. So I get the sweet red currant mixed in with the rose, the peonies, a very soft, mellow sweetness in the heart of the perfume. But that bourbon vanilla, I'm telling you, this fragrance has in bourbon vanilla and tonka bean. Deep, sultry, sexy, sweet vanilla-ness in the base of this perfume that makes this fragrance so irresistible that everybody loves this fragrance from this particular range. Of course, all of these fragrances are very, very well received, but Aloe Folie in particular is a beautiful, sexy, sweet vanilla scent, you guys, that I think is just an absolute joy, you guys. Absolutely beautiful scent. So this is La Nuit Trisol à la Folie. A next very delicious smelling, sweet vanilla, chocolate, and tonka bean scent is none other than Chocolate Greedy by Montel. I mean, this fragrance right here, the sexiness in this perfume, it doesn't need any explanation. This perfume has in some cacao, vanilla, tonka bean, coffee, dried fruits, and bitter orange. It smells like sweet vanilla and chocolate. Sweet, creamy, tonka beanie, vanilla, and chocolate, you guys. The tonka beanie here also just add that extra sweetness. I think like you can you can just tell the difference. The vanilla is, whenever there's a tonka bean, a scent, it kind of gives you a very extra deep presence of the vanilla, in my opinion. It's like when I was younger, there was cream, vanilla, and tonka bean ice cream. And the cream, of course, was really light. The vanilla was really sweet and it was just right and it was in the middle. And the tonka bean was extra rich, extra deep, and extra sweet. And that's pretty much what's captured in this fragrance, in majority of these fragrances. But in this one in particular, this is a gourmand's like love, like dream scent. Again, it smells like vanilla and chocolates. It smells like vanilla and chocolate ice cream. It is overly sweet to the extent that it doesn't even smell like a perfume. It smells more edible. But there's a very prominent note of tonka bean, of course, that stands out in this fragrance, coupled with the cacao. Absolutely beautiful, sweet smelling fragrance, you guys. So this is Montel's Chocolate Greedy. Next up, we have Angel Shears by Killian. Now, unlike the rest of these fragrances, this perfume hasn't tonka bean, but the tonka bean is camouflage, or should I say, it's kind of like balanced out with some cognac and cinnamon, and it also has in praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. Because of that very prominent cinnamon-like cognac essence to this perfume, the vanilla, the tonka bean, and the sandalwood is in the backdrop. Like it's like the baseline of this fragrance. The cognac and the boozy touches in here so stands out really strong. The tonka bean and the vanilla is playing a role, but it's more in the base, like the after effect of this scent. But beautiful. It makes this fragrance extra warm, along with that cinnamon, of course. Extra warm, extra deep, extra sexy, and just syrupy and really sweet, you guys. So for me, the addition of tonka bean to this fragrance kind of solidifies the mixture. Even though this perfume is like a cognac scent, it wears kind of light but sensual in a way. It's light but sensual in a way, in my opinion. That's what I get from this perfume. It goes on light, spicy, and airy, but the dry down has that very strong tonka bean and, you know, remnants of cinnamon essence in the base that kind of grounds this scent, in my opinion. So Angel Shears by Killian, beautiful fragrance that features that lovely note of tonka bean as well. Next up, we have a Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. And this perfume, it features notes of peach, blood orange, cardamom, and heliotrope. In the heart, we have rum, cognac, Havana, and jasmine. In the base, Indonesian patchouli, vanilla, tonka bean, sandalwood, cashmere, benzoin, styrex, labdanum, and vetiver. All I know is this is a bitter, peachy, spicy, warm, sweet, vanilla-y, tonka bean, and sandalwoody scent. For me, any fragrance that has in vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood in the base, you will experience a warm, seductive, sexy creaminess in the base of this perfume that is so intoxicating, that is so beautiful, and so addictive that I think it's an instant love. And that's what grounds this perfume. The peaches are really beautiful, and of course it has in the rum and the cognac that gives this fragrance an extra kick. It's not necessarily boozy, but it has a sexiness to it. You can see that this perfume has an edge to it, a vibe to it, and then it just puts the icing on the cake by giving you that warm, sweet, sexy vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwoody essence. Just beautiful. You guys already know how I feel about Bitter Peach, but I mean, the vanilla, the tonka bean, the sandalwood, and the base just solidifies the way I feel even more. It's something that I noticed that I really love in fragrances. And usually fragrances with those base notes are usually really, really sexy, you guys. So that's Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. And last but by no means the least, of course, the sexiest of them all, like I said to you guys, Poison Girl. Let me tell y'all this. I don't care what y'all, if y'all don't even like have an appreciation for this perfume, one thing you cannot deny is just it has a sexiness to it. Okay, now let me tell you guys the notes that's in Poison Girl. We got bitter peach, bitter orange. Sorry, we have bitter orange and lemon in the opening, damask rose, grass rose, and orange blossom in the base. You got vanilla, almonds, tonka bean, tulu balsam, sandalwood, cashmere, and heliotrope. Let me tell y'all, they knew exactly what they were doing when they put those notes in here. For me, Poison Girl smells like a spicy, sweet vanilla liqueur. A creamy, sweet, warm, milky vanilla liqueur. And of course, that vanilla, almonds, and tonka bean, sandalwood, and heliotrope in the base of this perfume could not convince you guys anymore that they wanted this perfume to be sexy, warm, sultry, intoxicating, inviting, delicious smelling. I'm telling you, even heliotrope, I love heliotrope. Heliotrope give fragrances a very warm, creamy, milky touch to it. Very warm. Anytime heliotrope is in a fragrance, I personally believe that heliotrope is in La Belle Le Parfum. It doesn't list that note, but the very first time I smelled it, I felt like heliotrope was in that fragrance. Another perfume that features the beautiful presence of heliotrope is La Vie est Belle Intense. And in comparison to all the flankers, you can feel how warm and sweet and powdery and creamy and sexy the addition of heliotrope is. And for me, I'm gonna have to say heliotrope is one of my favorite notes in my fragrances. It's along with tonka bean. Let's not sidetrack here. Along with tonka bean for sure. But yeah, Poison Girl, they made no mistake giving you all the sexiness in this perfume, you guys. So Poison Girl is a beautiful, sweet, spicy, vanilla, tonka bean, almondy, heliotrope, sandalwood smelling perfume. Beautiful fragrance that features that lovely note of tonka bean, you guys. And of course, here we have it. 12 of my most beautiful tonka bean scents in my perfume collection. So this is it, you guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful video. I enjoyed making this video because, again, tonka bean, vanilla and tonka bean in fragrances is just so easy to love, you guys. So I love these right here are some of the most sexiest fragrances in my collection, unquestionably, you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you made it to the end, please don't leave without giving me a very big thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new around here, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. And until next time, and for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for supporting me. I truly appreciate your support. And until next time, see you guys in my next video. Bye.